Hey there, it's Words and Stitches, and I'm Mary. If this is your first time dropping by, this is my quilt tube number 11. I am just getting started with quilt tube, but I've been a quilter for over 25 years. So I just kind of retired a couple of years ago, and I'd been thinking about joining the YouTube, but I just finally did it. So thank you to Stitching with the Sisterlies for the quilt tube, so that I would kind of talk myself into getting started. Anyway, this is a channel about all things quilty and fibery and all the things that I like to do. So I hope that you like to quilt, and if not, maybe this will entice you to get started if you've just been thinking about it. Anyway, I've been outside all day planting flowers. I bought flowers yesterday, not nearly enough because I buy them a little bit at a time and get them put out. I used to go buy just scads and scads of flowers to put out every year, and it would just be beating the clock, their clock of life, trying to get them out. So in the last 4 or 5 years, I've just been buying a few, putting them out, buying a few, putting them out. And I have a vegetable container garden. So I put out some tomatoes today and a couple of pepper plants and just a few little things that we grow and like to have. So I've been working on that, and I washed off my front porch so I could get it set up and start sitting out there in the evenings and watching the hummingbirds come and go. Which, you know, I'm not a big bird watcher. Birds kind of creep me out, really, with their eyes on the side of their head. But they are beautiful. I'm not, you know, if you're a bird watcher, I'm sorry. And I love to hear them in the summer mornings. But anyway, I do love to watch the hummingbirds. We get a swarm of hummingbirds, and in the fall, we get a big swarm of monarchs. And that's two of my favorite things about where I live. So, anyway, I've been out working on that, and I'm kind of late getting this done this week because I've had a lot of busy things going on. And, you know, I've told you before, for me to do anything, I have to drive at least 10 miles or more. Mostly more. So, you know, I haven't been home much. I think I got a waddle there. I haven't been home much lately, so I'm trying to play catch up a little bit today. But I'm just going to jump on in with the other stuff that I have. Well, you know, stuff I've kind of piled up here in front of me that you can't really see yet. And I've got some stuff over on my design wall I'm going to show you in a little bit. But last week I opened up a box of like kitted up stuff that I had, works in progress kind of stuff, UFO kind of stuff. And a couple of weeks ago I showed you my partial Tulanova EPP. I've really gotten back into EPP. I am enjoying it so much. But, you know, I never finished my EPP Tulanova. And I pulled it out and moved it in by my chair. So at night or early in the morning when I'm up having my coffee, I'll take a few stitches. And I found some pieces that were already, you know, glued, basted, and ready to go. So I've got that going on. But when I went to my cabinet to pull out a box to show you today, look what I found. Now, it's a mess because I've been pulling through it, but I want you to look. It is a box full of Tula Pink fabrics, old collections, okay? And as you can see, I have done some fussy cutting and used bits and pieces. That's what I was looking at before I hopped on here. Was all the little cuts and different things out of these fabrics. Anyway, I have found the fabric. I have found the acrylic template box. I have found the paper pieces and the already glued pieces. I have no excuses. No excuses. It needs to happen. So I'm going to put this in a good place so that I'll be able to find it. Right now I'm going to put it on the floor. So I kind of like going through this cabinet and finding what I had kitted up and things that I had put together that I have been ignoring because, you know, while I'm a pretty big finisher, I finish a lot of things. There's some things I just don't get too excited about finishing. And it's okay for them to be in a box and waiting for me. One of these days, I'll pull them out and I'll make something. It may not be the original intent, but I bet I make something out of all of that. Anyway, I got another little whippy thing I want to show you. I showed you last week these itty bitty hexies I was working on. You can see kind of next to this is a 3T, size 3T jeans jacket. So you can imagine how small it is. I can cover up a hexie with my thumb. So I got one, upside down as usual. I got one cuff done. And I've got an idea for the collar and the back now. So this is kind of on my, kind of up there on my EPP list, just a little bit. I finished the table runner this morning. I posted on Facebook or one of those things that, one of my other socials, or maybe both, that I just had one more hexie to go. And I got that one in this morning. And I haven't trimmed it and squared it up yet, but I'm going to show you all that stuff because I have a couple of more little finish kind of things I want to talk about. And, you know, that's really all I've been working on besides the yard and my little container garden and just trying to get things ready for a long, warm summer. And I love to sit outside in the mornings and the evenings, and so I've been trying to get all those places that I have around the yard where I like to sit under control, and I've been trying to get my container garden under control, so I've been doing that. But I do have a tiny bit of haul that I want to show you. So I'm going to show you first. I have tried several ways to film myself long arming, and I've never had much luck, and I'm not sure that this is gonna do it, but I got this really neat tripod that will wrap around stuff and hold on. So anyway, I'm hoping that this will help me film in different places and film different things. So it's really neat. And I just got it at the, you know, that one box store that, you know which one. It's got everything from food to, you know, toilet paper and everything in between. Anyway, it's by ONN. And it's not a virtual store. It's the one that you go to with the big blue. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, so I've been going to try a couple of different things, and I just hadn't found something I thought would work. So now I have something, and I'm just going to have to take some time and get to it. The other little thing of haul that I got, and none of it's fabric this time, or thread, or patterns, or anything, but you know, a couple of weeks ago I was talking about I am not organized. I am mentally organized. I can run through and, you know, make a list and get it all done and get I can do all that. I have a sock drawer. I have a separate drawer for my shorts and separate for my t-shirt. I'm organized. But I don't do a very good job in here unless I have several quilts for other people to do. And then I try to get right on those as soon as I can. But I bought this planner at that same big store. I don't know if you can see it. It's called a task planner. I haven't done anything with it. I just bought it yesterday. But I'm gonna sit down tonight maybe and look at this. I can put my own dates in. I have a place for notes, which I'm a big note taker. A place where if I need to draw something, which I do sometimes. It has important times and things that I'm kind of thinking about doing tomorrow. You can even track how much water you're drinking, which I drink quite a lot of water. But what I really like about it is that it has tasks and that I can date it myself. So I don't feel if I miss a day or 2 or 3 or 4 that, you know, I'm just wasting half of it. And it wasn't very expensive. It was not very expensive at all. So I'm going to give it a try and see what I can come up with and see if I can help it to use me just with my words and stitches stuff. Not so much the rest of my life, but for in here, in this room. When I come in this room or I go sit with all my EPP stuff, that's what I need this for. So that's my haul. Tomorrow I have to go to Columbia, and you know, I'm always telling you all that if you need a good place to, or you need a good guide to help you with places in Missouri, Missouri's kind of like a quilt mecca, and I'm sure every state says that, but I mean, we have Angela Walters and Tula Pink and Jenny Doan all in Missouri, and we have an abundance of fantastic quilt shops. So Columbia is a place that has three. So I'm hoping I can find backings for some of the stuff that I'm wanting to do. I have some backings, but they're not just exactly what I want because I have 3 pieces ready for the long arm right now. So I will I'll kind of keep you posted on that, but later I'll show you the tops that I have done. Back while we're on this works in progress, which they're still works in progress because they're not fully done. You know, I don't have backings and bindings ready for them, and I need to trim a couple of them. They're not squared off, etc., etc. But I am working on a different One Block Wonder, and I don't know. This is one of the boards I make for when I teach classes. I'm kind of holding that at an angle because I don't want anything to fall off. Let me see if I can straighten that up. This is that mushroom fabric that I was hoping would turn out kind of sweet. And it is. It's probably turning out better than the last one I did. You get more variety. You can see more colors. That sort of thing. So I have it over half. I have the hexes over half piece, but you piece half of a hexie at a time. And then you have to lay it out, and then you have to sew those together, and then you have to sew the rest together. But since it's a table runner, it's going to be kind of long and skinny, so it won't take me long to get that finished, and I hope to get some good work done on that later tonight. Sorry, checking outside. It's clouding up again. We have needed rain so badly, and we have had quite a lot, and we're still not completely out of a drought, but things are looking a lot better, so it's starting to cloud up again. Maybe we're going to get another shower, and in that case, I won't feel compelled to go mow my yard, and maybe I'll get more done in my sewing room. So, one of the sisterlies suggested a tutorial on One Block Wonder. And I'm thinking very seriously about doing one. However, I am not an expert. I'm not an expert at anything, really. I'm just, you know, I always say I'm more courageous than I am brainiac, you know. Have more courage than brains, something like that. So I'm going to try that. But I want to talk a little bit about One Block Wonder first. What I'm finding is that, fabrics that I often think will work and that I have used, there is a really neat online site that you can go to, and it's called One Block Wonder Design Help. One Block Wonder Design Help. And it's a .com. It's not, you know, it's not a download app or anything. You can, on that, you can take a picture of a piece of fabric and kind of see what it's going to look like. You can go down through the little process and see what the fabrics are going to look like. Well, I picked a couple of fabrics that, well, one for sure, and maybe another one, that I really thought was going to work based on the picture that I took. Not so much. Not so much. But what I did was learn a lot. Maxine Rosenthal, I have 3 of her books now, 2 on my Kindle and 1, paper copy. And I've read about the way that they add dimension and they add the cubes and so this one that didn't turn out quite like I had hoped, I added some triangular pieces too. And that, that was fun for me. There's not a pattern for a 1 block wonder. I mean, there probably is, but I haven't found it. At least not one that I think, I don't know. There's a whole lot of instruction about a one block wonder in these books. And so to me, it's a design your own thing. It's a design your own thing. You can watch other YouTubers. You can do them with panels. You can buy 6 or 7 of the same panel, lay it out, cut it using the instructions, and you could make 8 if you wanted to make octagons instead of hexagons. So I'm learning a lot about it, and I wish I could tell you that easy peasy, we're just gonna do this. It's not quite that simple, but man, it's engaging. It's really engaging, and I have really enjoyed doing them. I need a break. I need to make some other things. I need to work on some patterns of my own and designs of my own and the block of the month that I've been working on and those kinds of things. Also, I have a couple more classes I need to put together for All in Stitches. So the next one is flying geese. So I need to do some work on flying geese this week. All the different ways that you can make a flying geese, typically without paper. I don't use a lot of I do use foundation paper piecing papers. I don't always in classes unless it's a class specifically for that. So I have that going on. But I'll get to all of it eventually, just like you all. I know you're busy. One thing I've noticed, though, since I've joined QuiltTube, and that I am not an audiobook person. If I'm going to read a book, I want to read it. I want to sit down, and it doesn't have to be a book. It can be on Kindle. But I want to read it. I don't want to hear it. But now I do listen to podcasts sometimes, but what I'm finding is that I really enjoy putting QuiltTube and quilters, and I've even which I cross stitch a little bit, but not like the Sisterlies and all of their buddies, not like that. And that little linen stuff they work on, oh my goodness, that's gorgeous, but I just don't have the eyes for it, I don't think, or the patience or something. Anyway, I put those on in the background and listen to them while I sew, and so I found that to be a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to take a little break here, and I'm going to move, and I'm going to show you and talk a little bit more about my 1 block wonder things and my EPP table runner that I got done. So give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. So I wanted to start with this one. Now you're not going to get a real, well, I might be able to come back a little bit. So this is, I'll show you the whole board when I'm done. But this is the table runner with the fabric that I thought would look great, but it didn't really turn out too much. You can see, like right here. That's one of the pieces. I mean, that's one of the hexies. There's another one that stands out. This one kind of stands out. This one kind of stands out. This one kind of stands out when I point them out. You can see my shadow, I'm sorry. But when you pull back, you don't notice it. This right here is the original piece of fabric. It's beautiful. I will finish it. I will save it for my own table or give it to a family member, something. I'm going to use it for classes first because I want to be able to talk about fabric selection. Okay. So here's another one. This one, this fabric was perfect. I just love this right here. And this one. But do you see the difference in... I'm thinking this one didn't have enough colors or enough design change. And I'm thinking this one was a much better choice, obviously. So that's kind of my issue with One Block Wonder right now. Let me get a couple more under my belt and find someone to help me film, which is, you know, it's kind of difficult to film a tutorial by yourself. Anyway, look at that one. Isn't that cool? Anyway, so I will show you at the end what these look like in their entirety. But I wanted you to kind of think about this One Block Wonder thing and, you know, finding the right fabrics. Finding the right fabrics. And sometimes you think you've got them. And you think, oh, this will be the perfect piece. But it isn't. But it isn't. Okay. Now, ta-da! I also got my EPP done, which I'm really excited about because it's all done by hand. That's a lot of stitches. That's a lot of stitches. Anyway, so those are my sort of finishes. So that's about it for today. I'm going to let you go. And hopefully if you're listening to this in the background, you got at least 20 minutes of really good sewing. Sometimes 20 minutes can get you a long way depending on what you're making, can't it? I have some shorts that are up going through Quilt Lingo. So if you run across Quilt Lingo 101, that's me. There's a lot of people in my area that say, oh, I wish I had a hobby like that. Well, you know, or they'll say, I don't understand what you're talking about. So I've been doing Quilt Lingo. I'm just getting started with it. But if you run across it, you know, that I would appreciate a subscribe, a like, a dislike. But what I really love is comments. I would love for you to subscribe and leave comments because I like that when I sit down to relax at night, going through and responding and seeing what everybody else is working on or what they think, you know, they've got going or what they think about the types of tools and things that I use. So all of that. I like all of that. So if you feel so inclined, please give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, a subscribe, and leave me a comment. So I'll see you soon. Have a great week. Hey, Aunt Billy. Bye.